this is my tent for last night. It's the 3F UL Lanshan Pro. So we've got the ground sheet set up, just a rectangular shape, and it weighs 112 grams. So let's get the rest of the tent up. So this is the tent all set up. I went for the khaki colour and I made the right choice. Perfect for a wild camp, very discreet, it's quite a low profile and quite good sturdy tent. As you can see, it's got a vestibule at the front and one at the rear, which is great. It also means that it's got 2 doors. There's enough guy line points all over the tent, as you can see the ones we've done. Also the doors, now they've got like toggle things that you can open the doors, but if needed be you could use them as a guy point for extra guy lines. And also on the top of the tent there's another point here, so that could be the point of, like, rather than having a pole you could hang it from a tree, holding them up that way. Now I'm not sure how accessible that is to do, but it could be an option. So with that, let's take a look inside. So I like these little toggles that they've got on the ends, pieces of ribbon. It's easier than just trying to grab hold of the zip itself. I think it's a YKK zip. And then we roll it back and attach it to the toggle. Now it is only a J opening, so it's only half, you can't open it up, and then half is a doorway. But it's got a good height on the bathtub floor. Right, let's get inside. So inside we've got generous proportions. It is 120 centimeters wide, 120 centimeters high. And then we've got 230 centimeters in length, which is the reason why I went for it, because me being 6'3" or 191, I struggled to get in some tents. And when I read that this one was 2 meters 30 in length, now I was a bit apprehensive because obviously it's got sloping walls, so I didn't know how accessible that would be, as in, like, once I've got my mat in here with my pillow and everything else and in my sleeping bag, that actually my head may end up touching the actual fly. As it's a single skin tent, that would obviously cause condensation or even wetness dripping through. I found out not at all. It is big enough. My mat I've got in here is a 180 in length, but it looks like looks half the size inside this tent because the length of it is unbelievable. So it's got a reasonable bathtub design. At the end of the fly sheet there's a vent area, so reduce the chances of a condensation. Now I've slept in it for 6 nights in total, and I've only had a little bit of condensation, and that might be more due to when we woke up there was a bit of dew on the ground, so it might have been more on the outside rather than the inside. The other 5 nights I've had no condensation whatsoever, which I've been quite impressed with. So this is the 3-season version. The 4-season version has the less mesh. I mean, I would say late spring to early autumn, rather than all the way from early spring to late autumn. So this is great for the summer months. It's lightweight. There is enough space for me to sit down, and I've got enough space to put all my stuff inside the tent. The one thing I would think is that it would be very tight for 2 people, as it's the Pro 2. As I say, it's 120 wide. I mean, you could get 260 mats in here, but I think it'd be very tight. If you're smaller than 6 foot, then you'll be happy with this area because it stretches 2 meters 30, so you can put your backpacks at one end and still get your mats on there properly. Plenty of clearance. That's my main reason why I purchased it, being over 6 foot. Problem being is the YouTube videos I've all seen of people promoting this tent have all been 5'10", 5'8". So I wanted to try it out for myself to see if it was going to be the one for me. Now you can see we've got 2 vestibules. Internal space is quite reasonable. I mean, we're looking probably about 2.5 feet from the mesh to the door entrance, and we've got that on both sides. So when you set the trekking poles up, you set them up at 120 in height. I've set these ones at 125 last night, mainly because it was a bit breezy last night, so I wanted the fly sheet to be sturdy enough. Now it's also got some toggle points at the top. I've just tied a piece of paracord at the moment. I've been drying out my towel on it, hanging my lantern from it as well. You can get a carbon pole, I believe. You have to buy that separate. So the fly sheet and the ground sheet is made of 20T silicon nylon. It doesn't say what hydrostatic head it is, but I would guess 2000 millimeter hydrostatic head. Packed away, this is its size. Compressed down, doesn't take much at all. And then pegs, comes with 8 pegs. I'll put an extra couple of pegs in myself. And the ground sheet. Okay, small little bag. But overall, that's not bad for a 2-person lightweight tent. And obviously, trekking poles as well. So my conclusion for the 3F UL Lanshan Pro is that it's a reasonable tent. In fact, quite good indeed. It's lightweight, it comes in at 918 grams. That includes the pegs. And then on top of that, you can get the footprint, which I believe comes in at 112 grams. But overall, for a tent that's about a kilogram or 2.2 pounds, including the ground sheet, you can't go wrong. Now you do need your trekking poles as well. I've got some carbon fiber ones, so they only come in at an extra 300 grams. So the price is, if you're buying it from the UK, it's £162.98, I believe, at the moment, including the footprint. I do believe they have a distributor in the UK. It does come from China, as through sort of like the similar sort of thing as AliExpress, but it's a lot faster than AliExpress, and you're more guaranteed that you're going to receive it. I have bought a couple of things from AliExpress that a couple of years ago, and I'm still waiting to receive. So this one, I got it within 12 days, I think, from ordering it. The differences between this one and the Lanshan 2 is that this one has been silicone coated on both sides, where the Lanshan 2 was only coated on the outside. You do have to seam seal it yourself, which isn't a difficult job. Actually came with a syringe to help you seam seal it. A great tent that's 3-season, lightweight, perfect for like summer backpacking trip, long distance walking, which is what I really do a lot of. The big point for me, I'm 6'3" or 191, and it fits me quite well. I would say it's about 6'6", 6'7", you probably could quite easily sleep in this tent. Can still get my kit inside it as well. So if you like to buy one of these tents, then I suggest to go to Camper List. It's a lot faster than ordering from like AliExpress, and you're more of a guarantee you're going to receive it, and it's also cheaper buying it from them. With that, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and give Camper List a shout. They've got a lot of gear on their side. While I've been off for a little while with my bad back, I spent at home buying new gear. So at the moment I'm testing a lot of it out, so I'll be giving out a few reviews on some other gear. So with that, hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, click the like, click the subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye hikers. Also inside we've got one single pocket. You can't really put much more than a mobile phone in there. What else do you need? If you want a lightweight tent, you don't need loads of pockets.